Hi everyone, my name is Laura Donnelly. I'm a senior creative partner for this amazing company called Initials Inc. I'm here today to just talk to you guys a little bit about fundraising. And as I'm doing this, I'm a teacher. I'm sitting in my classroom and I actually saw this sign. It's a little bit backwards or upside down for you guys, but it says find your inspiration. And I was thinking about that as I pulled up my phone, and that's really what we need to do with Initials Inc. We need to find our inspiration and what drives us with this business. And for me, it's fundraising. Yes, I do parties. I love to host parties or go in home and do different things like that, but I love to fundraise. Why do I love to fundraise? Well, I was very athletic growing up. I played tons of sports. I played Division I golf in college, and we always had to fundraise. So I kind of took that and what I had to do growing up, and I thought to myself, well, why can't I do that with Initials Inc? Why can't I create something so that, yes, I'm selling, but now I'm having other people sell with me and for me and to help fundraise. So I'm here tonight to just talk a little bit about that. So first off, when I first started this company almost 2 years ago, people were telling me, oh, Laura, you can fundraise by someone hosting a party. You go to their house, you invite as many people as you can, and that person, the host, instead of receiving all of the hostess rewards, can then take that reward money and put it towards whether it's muscular dystrophy, Alzheimer's, whatever it is that their cause was for. But then I thought to myself, me being playing sports so much, why can't we kind of do it like Girl Scout cookies? Why can't we take a couple products, give it to a team, have them go sell different products to their friends, to their families, and different things like that, and then come back, I'm plugging it in, and then they're able to get 20% of what is sold. So just starting to think about what kind of places can you go out and fundraise. So different things that I've done, I want you to start thinking about CYO basketball teams, little leagues, dance teams, varsity and JV sports at your high school, as well as schools. Who do you know that you can talk to? I remember the other night I was on a leaders call, and so someone said something about fundraising, about what to say to the people when you see them and who to call, who to contact. So I've tried the calling. That has not worked for me. I've picked up the phone, I've gotten the courage, I've randomly called schools, I've randomly called places, and for me, that never really worked. For me, it was, okay, who do I know who knows someone else, and then I can go talk to them. So if you're a mom, if you're in the community and you know, or you can be at a place like a CYO basketball game, if you can go to the Little League field, if you have someone in dance and you go to the dance studio, or you know someone that's in charge of the PTA, that's what you need to do. You need to go face to face and talk to them. For instance, my son plays Little League. I was at the Little League field. I knew the man over there was in charge of the Little League. I just happened to go over. We start chatting, and then I kind of brought up, oh, do you ever fundraise? Is that something that the Little League does? And I remember him saying, oh, we do, we try, it's not so successful. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, so now I'm thinking in my head, what am I going to say to him to get him to use me as a fundraiser? So when he started to saying that he does fundraise but not so good, then I was like, oh, well, by the way, I actually have a business. Well, first I started saying that my son plays Little League. He's in this organization. And then I was like, well, I have this amazing business called Initials Inc. And one part of my business is actually I fundraise. And I fundraise for sports teams, for dance, for schools, for so many different organizations. And if you allow me, I would love to show you how we can fundraise, best fundraise for your, for the Little League or for whatever it is it may be. So just casually talking. And then this is the part when I find important, when I start giving the prices. So in my head, I've already written and jotted things down, and I know what I can tell them. So for instance, I wrote this down over here because I usually have it on a post-it with me. So I'll usually say to the person that I'm trying to get to fundraise, well, how many kids are there? like in a little league, there's going to be a lot more, but if it's a JV varsity sport, and I usually say to those coaches, let's put JV and varsity together. So a lot of times if it's a soccer team, there might be 25 on JV, 25 on varsity, or girls and boys. And then I'll say, oh, well, if you had 50 kids and they sold maybe 3 items, so like the BYO cooler, which is $40. So what was it again? So it was 50 kids sell 3 items at $40 each. That's $1,200, so 20%. And then I would say, I was actually with the CYO basketball team recently, and he was like, oh, well, we have 300 kids. And I was like, oh, 300 kids. If we can get all 300 kids to sell one item, just one, say the BYO cooler at $40, that's $2,400. Now, $2,400 would go directly to the organization, but guess what? $2,400 would also be coming to us, which would be great. And also thinking about our iReward points, $2,400, I don't know the calculation right off my head, but that's about 8,000 points, $8,000 being sold. So now you're thinking, wow, if I can do one big fundraiser like that, I can get 8,000 points from the one fundraiser. That's almost $2,000 away from getting a $500 gift card, a TV, or an iPad. Or that's 8,000 points into my trip of a lifetime. So I was able to earn my first year the trip of a lifetime because I did about 4 different fundraisers. Yes, I did parties and I got a lot of money that way, but the fundraisers is what put me over the top. So a couple of things. I brought with me here my manila envelope that I wanted to show everybody. So I have these stacked up. They're in my car. They are at home in my office. They are in some of my pocketbooks. And I have these with me so no matter where I go, I could even be talking to a mom and then that mom ends up being someone on the PTA. I am able at anytime able to take it out and to show them what a fundraising packet looks like. So I get manila envelopes. Let's take this out right here. Okay, so right in front you'll see I have an envelope and I'll write, it says collect cash or check, and then I'll usually say who it's written out to. If it's not someone where we're going to get tax exempt, I'll say write the check out to me. But if it's like a school that is tax exempt, then they would want the check written out to that PTA for that school. So let's take a look. So this one, I know it's backwards, I'm so sorry, but it says 2018 Team Fundraiser. Now this is a generalized one. I don't have a name on it so that I can just print these out and hand them out. It says, what a great way to support the blank team. So it could be the TZ baseball team. Purchase the day tripper for $35, the BYO cooler for $40, the cooler backpack for $45, the traveler for $55. So this one that I have here, I just chose 5 different items. Now this one was I more made for a baseball team. It was a boys team, so I didn't really want to put too many girl products on it, but I did tell the coach, since our new catalog was coming out, it actually should be coming out sometime today, that I was going to put a beach bag or 2 on there for the moms because all the moms will like that. But then they'll be able to pick, like you see, for the BYO cooler, I said comes in gray, black, red, or blue. The day tripper comes in certain colors, and so does the cooler backpack. Then on the bottom, all I did was copy and paste this, by the way. I just went online, I clicked the day tripper, I copied and pasted, I put it into Word, and then I also copy and pasted the description as well as the dimensions. So I have this page, and this one is not double-sided. Normally they are double-sided, so it's less paper that I'm having to print out. The second page was the day tripper. Not the day tripper, I'm sorry, the traveler. And then on the bottom it says all products include free personalization, choose from the following. So then here I wrote 1, 2, 3 letter initials and then I gave an example. 1 line up to 12 characters, I gave some examples. Personalization, choose up to 12 fonts. Font choices, and then choose from 15 different colors. And I usually just kind of leave it very simple. You don't want to go too crazy. And then on the next page, once again, copy and paste. All I did was I printed out, I made a photocopy of one of the catalogs, and here we go. And then it was kind of too long, so then I just cut it and put it over here. So now they can see the different fonts that they could choose from. And you know what? To make your life easier and a little less color, I just wrote the different colors of the fonts that they can put it in. And then I have an order form. So this order form, everyone kind of looks similar. We know this as the one that we use, but I made it a little different, and I know it's backwards. But down here, I actually took a white piece of paper and I covered what was there, because no one's doing credit card when you're doing a fundraiser. You need to strictly do cash or check. You need the money in hand. So then I wrote step by step how to fill it out. I said, choose your product. Choose your pattern. If you want personalization, choose 1, 2, or 3 letter monogram, 1 or 2 line. And then it says choose font, choose color. And then I also said, for especially those that aren't tax exempt, that need the tax and the shipping, I said find the total, determine the shipping costs, and then look at the box on the right. And then step 9 says subtotal and times it by the tax rate. And then the last part was subtotal plus tax equals total amount. Now, when I do hand these out to the real one, I'll have a sample one on top of this, one written out that was just for me. I might put 2 different products on it and what it would look like. People say that is very helpful. So once again, that's in my fundraising package that I have. So I always have these, like I said, and I put them out. And I want to make sure that if I'm somewhere, like yesterday, so I was talking with my school psychologist yesterday. I did a child's evaluation, and she just happened to mention, oh, I got to go to cheerleading practice. I was like, oh, you're a cheerleading coach. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I started telling her, I'm like, oh, wow, I would love to fundraise for you. And all of a sudden, I got it. And then this morning, she's like, yeah, let's do it. And we're going to do a little one now. We're going to do a bigger one in August. So always keeping in mind where you are, who you can talk to. If you start putting yourself in the fundraising mind frame and mode, you're going to start seeing so many different opportunities that you can fundraise. Now, I know Krista Rubino has posted on the Bags of Swag page the layout for how fundraising happens. Now, you can go on and take a look at that, but very briefly, so typically $1,000 party. So when you're doing a fundraiser, you can't put the $1,000 in because we need that extra money so that we can give back to the fundraising cause. So you put $800. It's like an $800 party, which means that you got $150 free. Now, $150 free, that leaves us with a $50 wiggle room to get that extra $50 for the 20%. So how can we do that? So different ways is the hostess special. The hostess special that month, if someone buys it, or the customer special, if someone buys it, they're not doing a fundraiser to try to get something half price. I'm not telling them that it's half price. They're paying full price for it. And because it's a fundraiser, they don't want to try to not make money on certain things. So if something's worth $24 and now it's half price, and now you're getting an extra maybe $12 or $14 from that to tack on as well. And then you can use your half price items as well. That's another way to try to help increase the money that you're getting for that extra $50 wiggle room. Another way to do it is shipping. Everybody and every customer is paying for shipping. And what I usually do sometimes is figure out, okay, if one person only bought one thing and they overpaid shipping, one person had 2 or 3 things, I might put their orders together under one person, and then now I'm saving myself on shipping. Now, when it comes to fundraising, it is so important to be organized. Organize. I am a teacher, and that has to carry over. I'm organized in school. I'm organized with fundraising. If you want to start doing fundraising, you need to get yourself a notebook strictly for fundraising. So as soon as all the order forms come in and everything comes in, I write everything down. So just for instance, I would write everyone's name down. So Laura Donnelly, what did she buy? She bought these 3 things, and then so-and-so bought these 3 things, and how much. And then on another sheet of paper, I'm going to put all the names, how much money was sold prior to tax and shipping, how much money was sold with tax and shipping as well. And from that, I find out, without the tax and shipping, what the 20% is. So I know right off the bat, if this is $1,000 that's given to me, $200 is going to be going towards that party or towards that fundraiser. So now I know I have to try to do the wiggle room so that I can get the $200 for that fundraiser. So once again, really making sure that you write everything down, because you're putting all of the information into the computer, into the back office. You're making sure that this person has their products, this person has their products. But now you get to the part where the extra $200 you have to put in as the hostess. So now you have to write Ellen Woolgar, Laura Donnelly, Nellie Donnelly, all these different people that are in the hostess. Now when you get that back from Initials Inc. and has all the plastic wrap, it's going to say hostess on it. It's going to say my name on it. So I need to keep such good records off to my side in my notebook to say, oh, well, Laura Donnelly stuff was the hostess. So these 3 things, those 3 things go to that person. So it's really, really important, like I said, to stay organized, to write everything down, to double check yourself. But fundraising is such an amazing way to grow your business. We got to think outside the box, ladies, especially with such a brand new catalog coming out. So I'm just around the 15-minute mark, and Krista Rubino told us to keep it at 15 minutes. It's 14 minutes and 56 seconds. So there we are. This is Laura Donnelly and how I fundraise with Initials Inc. If anyone has any questions about fundraising, please just give me a little message and I definitely will answer. So good luck everyone with this amazing catalog, and I am hoping next year for that trip of a lifetime again. I hope to see you all there, and I hope you tell me it's because of fundraising. Have a great night, girls.